24th day of the month of Elul, and we are learning Maseches Pesachim Daf Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph, but we are starting from the Mishnah. A new day, a new Mishnah at the bottom of Lamed Beis Amud Beis. The Mishnah tells us as follows: 4 lines, pretty much 5 lines from the bottom of the page. Last 2 words in the line. Nachri shehilva es Yisrael es chametzai. A non-Jew who lent chametz, the Mishnah says. What does it mean that he lent chametz? So it means that he lent money to a Jew and left him with his chametz as collateral. Achar haPesach mutar b'hana. That money, that chametz is now mutar b'hana. V'Yisrael shehilva nachri es chametzai. Achar haPesach as b'hana. But if it was the other way around, that if it was a Jew that lent money to a non-Jew and left chametz in his possession as collateral, so achar pesach asbana, then it would be aser behana'a. Says the Gemara as follows: Idmar, the Amorim said like this: Bal chayv, with regards to a creditor. Abaya Amar, Abaya tells us lemafreya hu gove, he collects it retroactively. Rava Amar, Rava says, Mikan lahaba hu gaiva. He collects it from now onwards. Meaning, the Baal Chayv, the guy that has this collateral in his possession. So Abaya says that at what point in time does he take ownership over the collateral when the guy defaults on the loan? So Abaya says that he's collecting it lemafred, that this collateral was his. Turns out that when the guy gave it to him, he gave it to him. We didn't know about that, right? But now we do. That meaning retroactively, it now belongs to him. It says Rashi on this: Gvia seisha gava achshav iglai milsa de meise shehilvu de meise shehilvu amdu nechasav halal becheskasa. Meaning it was his, and now we know it. Rava says Rashi, that it's not in his possession currently. Meaning only from the point in time, that the guy defaults on the loan. Says Rashi, we're going to see soon why this is relevant. Says the Gemara, Kol heicha de akdesh loive v'zavin lava loive. Anytime that the loiver, that the borrower was makdish or sells, he gave it to the base of English or he sold it to somebody else, everybody agrees that the lender can come along and take it back. He can come along and take it. Says Rashi, meaning he can go and take it from the people that bought it. It's not theirs to buy. It's not theirs to sell, and therefore the guys that bought it had no right buying it. Says the Gemara, top of Lamed Aleph Amud Aleph, the Asim Malvi Parak, and then the lender can come and take it back from Hekdesh. Says Rashi, b'davar muat. Meaning, they want to make sure that people don't have lashon hara to say, but hekdesh. So he puts in a couple of a small amount of money, and then he can redeem from the hekdesh. Says the Bryce as follows. The Mishnah. Sorry, it's not. We have it in the Mishnah. Mosif oid dinar opoda as hanachas ma'edo. He can add an extra dinar, and then he can be poda the property that belongs to him. Sorry, let's send the link here to the Chavra. There we go. Okay, says the Gemara. Keep legi dezavin malbe v'kadish malbe. What do they argue about? There's of malve v'kadosh malve, that the lender, who now has property in the hands of the guy that is borrowing money from him, what happens if the lender goes and he sells it, or he was Mekadesh it. Abaya Amar, Abaya says, Limafrehu Geva, he collects retroactively. Kevan de Matazmane Veloy Pari, since the time came and it wasn't paid back, Iglai Milsa Limafreya comes out retroactively. Demi Karabusha say have a guy that it was always his. Vishaper Akdish, Vishaper Zavin. And he was always allowed to be Shaper Akdish, meaning he was always allowed to sell it because it turns out that it was his. So you have the lender is holding on to a property that belongs to the borrower, and he wants to go and sell it. So a buyer says, if he sold it, it turns out retroactively that it was always his to sell. Virava Amar Rava says, no, it only belongs to him from now. Because if the guy had cash on hand, he would have given him the cash. What happens now? Now is the time that he's acquiring it. Now the Gemara is going to challenge this statement of Rava. Mi Amar Rava Hacha, did Rava really say such a thing? Rami Bar Chama, didn't Rami Bar Chama tell us, Ruvain Shemachar Sadal Shimon, if you have Ruvain that sells his field to Shimon, Ba'achrais, with a guarantee, meaning the guarantee is if somebody goes and buys it, then he'll pay back for it, meaning there's a guarantee that it's not going to, it is not going to fall into other people's hands. And then he sets Shimon up with a loan. So you have Reuven that sells a field to Shimon, Bachrais. And Shimon sets up money for him as a loan, meaning Shimon couldn't pay for the full value of the field, so he has to borrow money in order to pay him back. Meis Reuven, and Reuven does. Va'asa balchav the Reuven, and the creditors of Reuven come to claim property from Reuven's estate. V'tarif le'mi Shimon, and then they go and they say, well, Shimon bought that field from Reuven, and we should then go and be able to claim back from Shimon. Va'ata Shimon upaisa b'zuzeh, and Shimon then went in order to prevent the creditor from claiming his field. He was mefais b'zuzeh, he pays him off with money. Dinahu, the halacha is the asu b'nei Reuven, that the children of Reuven can come and say, va'amri le Shimon, they say to Shimon, anan metaltale shavak avon gavach. Our father Reuven left property in your hands. And the halacha is that metaltale diyasmi, that the movable objects, meaning non-real estate objects that belong to Yisomim, do not get paid back to a Baal Chayv. You can only claim from real estate. You cannot claim from cash. You cannot claim from other possessions. Ve'amar Rava, and Rava said, if Shimon was smart, megavilahu ara, he would let them take the land, meaning let the creditors come along and take the land. V'hadar gabe la minayu, and then reclaim it from them. Meaning, why would he be able to reclaim it back from them? Because retroactively, they inherited land and not movable objects, and the land. We'll see this in Rashi in 1 second. He'd be able to claim it back from them. We'll see here in Rashi. Sorry, the third line in Rashi. Ipikayach. The third of the very wide lines in Rashi at the end of the line. 3 words from the 3 words from the line. Ipikach ze Shimon. If this Shimon was smart, Yitan vayomer lahem. He should say to them, Ein li mos lifra lachem. I don't have money. I don't have cash to pay you. Ela karka yeshli. I have land. V'nosen lahem b'chavasam. And I'm more than happy to give you land as a chayva. V'chayze v'gova osam mehem. And then he can go back and take the land. Bishvil achrayas mechira shekibel avim, because there is achrayas on the property shekibel avim, meaning when he bought the property, he bought it with achrayas. Reuven sold it to him with a guarantee that people wouldn't come and claim it. Mechira shekibel avim. Allah dahashta ki agvilahu. Now, when they are claiming it, when they are claiming this land, then it turns out that it's not metaltalim that was left behind, but it was karka instead that was left behind. The upshot of all of this, says the Gemara, the Amar of Nachman, Rav Nachman says, Yisayim shugavu karka b'chavis aviyim, that if you have orphans that claimed land as part of their father's debt, that the creditor can come and claim it from the Yisayim. And it's all good and well if you say that it's only going to belong to him retroactively. Because that's why he can go back and claim it back from them. Because limafreu means it's only going to belong to him it belongs to him already retroactively from the point in time of the sale, because there was a default on the loan. Because it's as if it was already claimed in the lifetime of their father. But if you say that this whole exchange of property is only taking place from the point in time that there's a default on the loan, why could he claim it back from them? It's as if orphans that have purchased new property. If orphans decide that they want to go buy property, they would never become indebted to the Baal Chayv. Meaning, Rav's whole argument here is that this is all that this is all Mikan Laba. But then how could he say this patent, this chiddush of Ipikach Shimon? If Shimon was smart, he would have done it differently. Says the Gemara, Shani Hasam, this is very different. Amar lahu, because he could say to them, just like I am under your father's thumb, meaning I have to pay him back the money that I owe him to buy the field. I'm also indebted to the creditor of your father, meaning this is what they say is meaning I owe him money and he owes somebody else money. Me de Rav Nassan, and it comes out that this is the halacha from Rav Nassan. The Tanya Rav Nassan, Omer Rav Nassan says, "Minayin le'noise bechaver mane bechaver bechaver." How do you know that one guy that owes his friend money and the friend owes his friend money? Shemetzian mizev v'noisim nazar. You take out from one person, give it to another person. Because the pasuk says, "V'nasan la'asher asham loy." You give it to the person that you are indebted to. And Be'ezhem Yisbarach, we will continue with the bottom of Daf Lamed Aleph, Amud Aleph tomorrow, and everybody should have a beautiful day.